Welcome back into today's video. We're going to have a look at whether it's 8 to 10 days. In today's video, it'll take us up to the start of May, would you believe? So going into the final month of the spring. Now, we've got significant changes on the way, so there's a lot to talk about in today's video. If you've been enjoying the early summer weather of the past few weeks, happening much of April, it's on its way out. I think we are going to be turning significantly cooler and also significantly more unsettled as well as we get to the end of the week into weekend and on into next week. So if you're enjoying this beautiful weather that we've been having over the past few weeks, do make the most of it. It's got another 2 or 3 days to run, but it's ending on Friday, so yeah, make the most of it if you've been enjoying it. Now, before we get on with that, just to say about the ads, there's links to articles on all the pages at gasoffice.com. Have a browse through the widgets. Any articles that you're interested in, please click through. You'll be able to go for read those articles, and thanks very much for doing that. There's also video ads to those pages, so they open out in the content. When you watch them, they'll close back up again. Really cool. Thanks very much for getting involved and watching those ads. They're helping to pay the website really there. Helping to support the website, and they allow me to sit and talk to you via Gasoffin. So thanks so much for getting involved. Thanks for doing that. I'm rattling through things very quickly because we've got a lot to talk about. So we're going to start off centering the temperature from Hadley. We're coming out provincially up to yesterday, the 20th, at 9.4, which is an anomaly of 2 degrees above the 30-year average. So it has been a very mild or very warm April indeed. And that's got another couple of days left to run it, but it will start to turn cooler at the end of the week. But I don't think it'll be enough to offset that anomaly particularly, so it is going to be around a degree at least above average, maybe a bit more, could be a degree and a half or so above average. A very mild April, just to go with 2011 and 2007 last year, with a run of very warm Aprils that we've been enjoying. But as I say, it's on its way out, this warmth and the fine weather. The 500 millibar height anomaly flowcharts next week, 10 days, tell the tale. We've got the ECMWF here on the left, the GFS is over on the right, 500 millibars, 8,000 feet is an area in the atmosphere where high pressure, low pressure are being moved around by the jet stream. And what we're seeing here is blue is extrapolating to low pressure and red is extrapolating to high pressure. Now, I've had a lot of high pressure across the country through most of April, which is why it's been such a warm, dry month. But look at this, ECMWF for 8 to 10 days time, which, as I say, does take us more or less to the start of April. It's placing a deep trough of low pressure right over the top of the country, sticking it right in. There we are. You can hardly make this out, actually, because the colours are very intense, but we're just there under that very deep trough of that low pressure. The the GFS, I should say, is a little bit different. It has the trough more centred just to the east of the country, but nevertheless, both of them are painting a very, very unsettled picture for the next week to 10 days, or in a week to 10 days time. They are painting a picture of significant changes to the weather pattern, and because of the orientation of the trough, the jet stream is going to the south of the country as well, with these lines just here. I'm not sure you can quite make them out, but the lines are showing that we're going to the south with the jet stream. So going on to the cool side of the jet, under a trough of low pressure, going to be pretty unsettled, and it's going to be pretty cool as well. The longer range models, the CFS and JMA, have been highlighting this change right at the end of April for many, many weeks, right since we did the April month-end forecast, right at the very start of the month. There's been this suggestion from these longer range models that we will get this change at the end of April. It still is continuing, and it looks like we're getting it. So very good performance by these longer range models if this comes on. It's still just a few days away. So here's the GFS temperature and precipitation ensembles. We've got good agreement on the change. The red line here is the 30-year temperature average. We're well above average at the moment, and we're going to be staying there at least until the end of the week. So this is sort of the 25th, 26th to 27th, just here, the end of the month. And that's when we get this drop in the temperature taking place. So it's still a few days away. There is just about time for the models to backtrack on this. But it looks like we've got agreement across the models. It looks like we've bedded this in, and this is the way we're going for the end of April, with this significant drop in the temperature. It's quite a significant drop. We're going from around plus 5 Celsius at 850 HPA down to around minus 5 Celsius at 850 HPA. So about a 10-degree temperature drop coming up at the end of the week and into the weekend. Notice as well, precipitation spikes are coming back. We start off really quite dry here for the next few days, but then it turns much, much wetter, and that goes on really into May. So this is the 1st of May just here, indicating that unsettled conditions are going on right through to the end of April and into the start of next month as well. So it all just backs up the idea that it's turning cooler and it's turning more unsettled for the end of April and the start of May. The temperature anomaly for 21st to 29th of April is coming out a little bit colder than average, but surprisingly, because it's quite warm at the moment, having chilly nights, so we should say that just a little bit, but this is really reflecting what's happening from the weekend and on into next week, where the temperatures will be turning colder than average. The rainfall anomaly, precipitation anomaly, is still just about coming out on the dry side of average. This is skewered by the next few days up to the weekend, or up to Friday anyway, which is when the action will start to wobble. But after that, it will turn wetter. So I'd expect this precipitation anomaly to be turning wetter over the next few days. We'll keep an eye on it, have another look at it on Thursday. Here's what's happening then. The GFS shows that the high pressure that we've been enjoying through most of April is collapsing as we go through to Friday. Some of it going up to the southeast Europe, some of it going up to Greenland. That is a proper Greenland high pressure system beginning to get going up there. And that's pushing the jet stream south and allowing these areas of low pressure from the Atlantic to start to move in underneath and move in towards us. Now, Friday won't be a washout by any means, but we will find increasing number of showers breaking out through the course of the day. Some of them could be quite heavy with risk of hail and thunder. We go through into the weekend, very unsettled conditions going through into the weekend. The low pressure is to the east of the country, bringing down these cold, or certainly chilly, but in the north, quite cold northerly winds. Would you believe that could be cold enough to produce some wintry weather over high ground of Scotland, Northern Ireland and Northern England early next week? So low pressure is dominating through to the start of next week. Got a ridge in the Atlantic going up to Greenland, pulling the winds in from the northwest. It'll turn significantly cooler, and also it's unsettled with showers of longer spells of rain. And we keep that northerly going then through towards Tuesday and on into Wednesday. So several days of quite cold northerly winds coming up. Wintry potential certainly for the north, probably not too much for the south, but there could be night frost in the south, which may be significant because all of this warm sunshine brought the fruit blossom out, of course, so that could have impacts down in the south. But for sleet and snow, it's going to be mainly, I think, on high ground up in the north. And as we go through to day 10, which takes us to Friday the 1st of May, so just before the bank holiday weekend, we bring another low pressure system through across the country to keep the unsettled weather going. It's putting winds back into the Atlantic, so we'll lose that cold northerly, but that's still very unsettled with that low pressure being quite a lot of heavy rain across the country. I'll have a look at the bank holiday weekend on the events page tonight, so I'm going to stop there and not go any further. Come back tonight if you want to see what's happening on the latest update of the GFS for the bank holiday weekend. This hour the temperatures are dropping then. Friday we're still up to 17, 18 degrees quite widely, but as we go into Saturday we're down into mid-teens for England and Wales. We're into single figures for Scotland. By Sunday, well, look at that. For south, just 11 or 12 degrees. Northern England northwards really down into single figures, and just 4 or 5 degrees being indicated for parts of Scotland. It turns cooler into the start of next week, with temperatures away from the south coast then widely going into single figures through Monday and Tuesday. That is going to be a very notable temperature change. You will notice that after the warm weather we've been having, that's going to be quite a shock to the system, I think, as we go through to the start of that next week. And by Tuesday, there's only just the far southeast getting into double figures most places. On the 28th of April are down into single figures. ECWF, as we saw on the height anomaly charts, backing all of this up. So the high pressure collapses on Friday, low pressure begins to take over the pattern. That's when we'll get some showers coming through. And it just stays unsettled then through into weekend and into the start of next week. Excuse me, putting down this northerly wind early next week. There's a trough coming down in the flow as well. Have to watch out to see whether that delivers wintry conditions to the north. But it's cool anyway, and there's going to be showers along the spells of rain at the very least. Stays unsettled into Tuesday. and on into Wednesday as well. We go through to day 10, which is again Friday the 1st of May, under this trough of low pressure, ridge in the Atlantic. The jet stream with this is going like that. So we're on the cool side of a jet. We are under a trough of low pressure. Cool and unsettled sums it up as we go through to the start of May. So significant changes coming up. If you've been enjoying the early summer that we've had through most of April, make the most of it. It's lovely today. It's going to be very nice tomorrow and on Thursday. You'll probably notice a bit of an increase in cloud, but generally okay. And then it all starts breaking down on Friday. So you've got a few more days to enjoy the warmth and the sun. Then it's all change. Much cooler and unsettled to end April. Still 1 or 2 days before I want to be absolutely confident of this coming off. But if it does come off, it's going to be hats off to CFS and JMA. They saw this right at the start of April. That's it for now. It's 5-day forecast. We'll also come back for that during the May Day Bank Holiday weekend on the events page tonight. So come back for that. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching.